What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. I hope everyone is enjoying their spring break week wherever you may be. We got a lot of news to talk about today, and we got a movie review for y'all today as well. So, let's get into it to our first piece of mainstream news. Ben Affleck's Air reviews call it one of the best sports films ever. It might got some competition between Creed 3, but we'll see. But let's read what IndieWire has to say. Each actor in Affleck's latest film gives a powerful and award-winning performance. Air is a slam dunk and only one of the best sports movies ever made. Affleck successfully captured Nike's warm harmony and hilarious market journey while paying respectfully homage to all involved. Air is a tremendous underdog story, filled with lovable characters. It is truly a film about legends made by legends. Man, this only get me hyped to see that movie. But moving on to the next one. Alicia Silverstone, I haven't heard that name in a while, but wants to do a Blast from the Past sequel with Brendan Fraser. I remember that movie, but let's see what she had to say. With Brendan, I would do anything with Brendan. It was so much fun. Silverstone said during Sunday's panel in Hartford, Connecticut. I just saw Brendan after he won his Oscar, and he's so cute. He talked in his speech about how all going through this really hard time and you have to grow and it's part of life that you struggle. And then look what happened to him. So yes, I'm happy to do that. So I wouldn't mind a sequel for the Blast from the Past. It was a good wholesome movie. But like I said, Brendan Fraser, we want a Mummy 4. That's what we want. Alright? Just saying. But moving on. Tom Cruise loved The Flash so much, he tracked down the director. So, let's see what the Hollywood Reporter has to say. Because I think we have touched already that we said that Tom Cruise had loved the Flash movie. So, let's see how he got to watch the film. So, in late February, according to several sources, Cruise had a meeting with Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav, during which the monologue mentioned how great the movie was. Cruise, courtesy pitch, then asked to see it. Zaslav acquired the request, and a copy of the movie was sent over to Cruise. But as an insider says, there was no casual messenger. A Warner's employee brought the movie to Cruise's home in Beverly Hills and stayed until the actor finished watching The Flash. It was unclear on what format Cruise watched it on, whether it was digital or film. When Cruise finished, the movie was given back to the messenger, who returned to the studio. Cruise was so taken by what he saw that soon after, he reached out to David Machete. It was called out of the blue from the director. Cruise is said to have raved about the movie, saying something to effect The Flash is everything you want in a movie. And this is the kind of movie that we need right now. Man, like I told y'all don't get that many compliments from an A-list movie actor like Tom Cruise. Man, this only gets me hyped to watch the Flash movie. So but I'm kind of curious how they was able to send the movie. Did they put the movie like in a briefcase and you have someone in shades like they was the messenger and go at the door and be like, Mr. Cruz, your package has arrived. Did they do some kind of something like that? I don't know what they did, but man, like I said, when June comes, we are all out for the Flash movie. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. Opening weekend disaster for Shazam Fury of the Gods. That doesn't sound good. So let's look at the numbers here. And we're gonna share how does Shazam 2 compare to the recent superhero movies. So Shazam had opened we'll only going by the domestic box office. So Shazam Fury of the Gods opened up to 30.5 million. That's on his opening weekend. The first Shazam opened to 53.5 million on his opening weekend. Black Adam opened up to 67 million in its opening weekend. So Black Adam did more than both Shazam movies. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania opened to 106 million. So that's more than what Black Adam and the two Shazam movies did. The Batman opened up to 134 million. So Batman's on top right now. So Eternals opened to 71 million. That's no surprise. No surprise there. Venom opened up to 90 million. Hey, it is what it is, man. Black Widow opened up to 80 million. Well, that's because it was still in the pandemic era, and plus, not only they opened up in theaters, but they opened up on Disney Plus access. So, yeah, it is what it is. The Suicide Squad opened up to 26 million. In case y'all didn't know, this also was still in the pandemic era, and not only they opened up in theaters, but also on HBO Max day-to-day as well. So DC leads the Superbats over to 23 million, and I think this is one of those movies that people would just want to wait until it come out of the theater. So yeah. And Morbius opened up to 39 million. No surprise here. Yeah, again. So this tells me that the Batman and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania did more than what the other recent films did. So yeah. But let's move on to our next news. Dune, Doctor Strange writer, wants to write Gears of War movie. I am definitely looking forward to that. So I wonder who's going to be producing that. Is it PlayStation Productions, or I don't know. But let's read what Variety has to say. Netflix's live action adaptation of the popular video game Gears of War. Netflix, you better do a good job. That's all I'm saying. So it moves one step closer as Academy Award nominated screenwriter John Spinsmith has been on board with on the project. Best known for co-writing Doom Part 2, and Doctor Strange, Spence would now take on the challenge on adapting Gears of War, one of the game's richest and most acclaimed video game sagas, with over 40 million copies sold. So I am very interested in that. So man, hopefully we get some more news on not only who's going to be writing the script, who's going to be directing it, and who also is going to be starring in this as well. So hopefully we'll get more news that in the coming weeks or coming months and stuff like that. And moving on, Mean Girls original creator is suing Paramount comparison on the film. So this is what IndieWire has to say. Mean Girls screenwriter and star Tina Fey, who later adapted the movie into a 2018 Broadway musical and now an upcoming movie musical, purchased the rights to Wise Man's Queen Bees after reading her New York Times Magazine cover story interview in 2002. When I went to meet Tina and producer Laurie Michaels many years ago, it was very much a we are doing this together kind of experience. Wiseman said, citing that business partnership aspect is what to lead her to select a duel over the film's production offers. But hey, I don't care too much. I ain't never seen Mean Girls, so that's out of my realm. But moving on. James Gunn says he will for sure work with Margot Robbie more. So we had got a tweet for someone saying that message to James Gunn says, "Will you work with Margot Robbie again?" And James Gunn replied, "For sure." So does that mean that Margot Robbie will have a place in the DCU, and will she also still play as Harley Quinn? Because it's gonna be hard to try to find another Harley Quinn other than Margot Robbie. It's gonna be hard, but we'll see. Moving on, a huge Marvel shakeup as longtime executive Victoria Alonso departs. So this is what the Hollywood Reporter had to say. Victoria Alonso, a longtime and high-profile Marvel Studios executive, whose time with the company dates back to the first Iron Man and has left the studios, where multiple sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. The reason for the exit was unclear, but she part ways with Marvel on Friday, said sources. Alonso has been with the company since its early days of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, establishing to a relevant 17-year run and watching the studio grow from its operation above a Mercedes-Benz dealership in Beverly Hills to being acquired by Disney. During her tenure, the MCU became the highest grossing franchise in film history. So, with Victoria Alonso departed, is this going to be good news or bad news for Marvel? So, we just want good quality over quantity at MCU movie and television. So, like I said, Kevin Feige, you had that thing on autopilot for too long. Now I think it's time for you to get your hands back on the gear. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. Dwayne The Rock Johnson stopped Shazam's cameo and Justice Society cameo. And this is coming for the rap. Now, the rap puts some of its blame for Shazam's 2 failure at Dwayne Johnson's feet, as Black Adam star reportedly voiced the ideas of would have seen Zachary Levi's Shazam cameo in Black Adam's post-credit scene, or Justice Society characters appearing in Shazam Fury of the Gods post-credit scene. The Rock reportedly want DC Extended Universe to revolve around him and Henry Cavill's Superman, and Shazam was not part of his plan. Shazam 2 Peter Zaffa attempts to use the scrap Black Adam idea for only Justice to step in and prevent any Justice Society characters from appearing, resulting in Peacemaker characters being used instead. So, the way I see this, I think the Rock told what he was getting at. He says the reason he didn't want Shazam to come in because the difference between Black Adam and Shazam, Black Adam is more dark, and Shazam is more Marvel as comedy. So I kind of understand why the Rock said, "Oh, we don't want the Shazam cameo in there right now because they want to focus on Black Adam versus Superman going forward." So I kind of understand why they did that, but the cameos that Black Adam and Shazam and three other guys did, the only thing that kind of failed for them is because they kind of spoiled their cameos of what they had, because I think that's what got them a little on a hard rock there, and that's what kind of let them down a bit. So yeah, but other than that, it is what it is. Moving on. The Best Director Oscar winners, the Daniels, are directing a part of Star Wars upcoming series Skeleton Crew. And this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. New Oscar winners Daniels have set a course for the Star Wars galaxy. The filmmakers behind Everything Everywhere All at Once are working on a DC Plus series, Skeleton Crew, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. The series began filming over the summer and wrapped in recent months. But as with all things Star Wars, the show has been shrouded in secrecy with the directors unknown. The complete list of Hells of the Mandalorian Season 3, for example, was not revealed until a trailer dropped 2 months ahead of its premiere. So, when you get recognized for a certain movie, or if you get an Oscar award for a particular movie, you already know it's gonna be either Marvel, DC, Star Wars gonna be come knocking at your door. And I'm very proud that the Daniels is gonna be part of the Star Wars universe. So I'm kind of interested to see which episode are they gonna be directing, one episode, or they're gonna be directing multiple episodes in the in Star Wars Skeleton Crew. But we'll see when we get close then. Chris Tucker says Rush Hour 4 is happening and they're working on the script. Let's see what my man Chris Tucker had to say. You are going to see a lot of good stuff coming, but it's going to be on a whole nother level. Chris Tucker said, "That's what I like. I'm excited about that. It's not going to be what you normally see Rush Hour 4. That's something I definitely will be probably drop in there because I love working with Jackie, but I got some new stuff that I've been think you really gonna like. I am excited about it." So there's been a lot of talk for Rush Hour 4 these past years. Even Jackie Chan said, if you got a really good script, then he will be on board. So I think they working on the script very closely, and so that Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan will come back together for Rush Hour 4. So I really hope that Rush Hour 4 that is made. So hopefully we can get that thing greenlit. Moving on. The Writers Guild of America will allow AI screenwriting with limitations. That's interesting. And this is coming from Variety. The Writers Guild of America has proposed allowing artificial intelligence to write scripts as long as they doesn't affect writers' credits or resolution. The guild has previously indicated that it will propose a regular use of AI in writing process, in which recently surfaced as concern for writers who fear of losing out of their jobs. But contrast to some expectations, The guild is not proposing an outright ban of use of AI, the technology. So, like I said, y'all, robots are taking over. So, and the future is here. So, just be prepared. But let's move on. So, we got a showdown the next Christmas. Well, so we got a triple threat match between Avatar 3, Sonic 3, and a untitled Jordan Peele movie. So you already know who I'm thinking is winning, and that's Avatar 3 for sure. So, but the question is, we still got a long way to go to next Christmas. So the one of these movies could be could shift dates. So and but no wait Jordan Peele's one is opening on Christmas Day. So and then the 20th, let me go to. So yeah, the Jordan Peele movie opening on Christmas Day, and then Avatar 3 and Sonic 3 open up that weekend before Christmas. So I could definitely see um Sonic maybe I see maybe see Sonic shipping his dates. So we just have to wait and see till next year, because we still got a long way to go. Directors are getting turned off by superhero movies. Shazam director says he's done. And he posted his statement on Twitter saying, "As I've been saying for a while now, I am very eager to go back to horror, as well as trying some new things. After 6 years of Shazam, I am definitely done with superheroes for now." I think the problem is that they're not really getting the expectations that they want. So hopefully James Gunn can fix up DC the best possible we can, and then the same day for Marvel, they just got to fix up what they're doing over there and give us the best possible as they can. And then David Zansberg also said this. "One thing I have been really looking forward to is disconnecting from superheroes disclosure online, and a lot that distressed me out. That it will be nice to have to think ain't that anymore." So David F. Zansberg says that as well. And then speaking of Shazam, um, Zachary Levi confirms Rock's interference, saying Markey was to blame. So that's exactly what I said. And then he said this. "But I think our biggest issue we're having is marketing. This is a perfect family movie, and yet a lot of families are aware of that. It is just a shame." Yeah, like I told y'all should have spoiled the cameo scenes, or else it could have been came out real better. So, but like I said, it is what it is. But moving on, Fast 10 has a massive surprise ending, says Michelle Rodriguez. So she got an interview with Collider, and she said this. "I think people are really going to be really, really surprised, and we are going to get a lot of open mouths at the end of Fast 10. Let's just put it that way. It's going to be like, really? What? Like that? Like, that's how I was in the theater. I was like, oh my God, what do we have done? So, like I said before, I do believe they're gonna end on a cliffhanger, and then when we get to the next Fast and Furious movie, and that's gonna be the finale of that, because we do kind of have a little hint of what they might do based on the trailer, and also with the interview with Van Diesel said, oh, like, we're trying to get Robert Downey Jr. As the next villain for our last movie. So it's gonna be very interesting to see, and I'm ready to see how they're gonna do the end. But like I said, they are definitely gonna be doing a cliffhanger. But moving on, Apple is smarter than Netflix. Commit to $1 billion per year to theatrical releases. So, Apple plans to spend $1 billion a year to produce movies that will be released in theaters. According to people familiar with the company's plans, part of their ambitious effort to raise its profile in Hollywood and lure subscribers to their streaming service. So that sounds like a good idea. So I think the last Apple movie I saw in theaters was Will Smith at the movie in country. So but yeah, that sounds like a good strategy for Apple. And let's hope that Netflix and also that Amazon Studios, aka Prime Video, does the same as well. But continue on with the story. Apple has approached the movie studios about a partnership to release a few titles in theaters this year and a slate of more movies in the future, says the People, who has asked not to be identified because the plans are private. The list of potential releases includes Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, which stars Leonardo DiCaprio, a spy thriller, arguably from the director Matthew Rivers, and Naples, Ridley Scott's drama about a French conqueror, and a spokesman of Apple declined to comment. The adventures of the significant increase from years past. Most of Apple's previous original movies has either been exclusive to the streaming service or released in limited number of theaters. The company has pledged to put movie in thousands of theaters for at least a month. Says the People thought it hasn't been finalized any plans. Let's hope they can put their movies in theaters for at least a month. Let's hope they can put. Star Wars next movie is set to be written by Stephen Knight of Peaky Blinders. So let's get to know Stephen more a little bit, shall we? Knight is a writer and director producer best known for creating, writing, and executive producing the acclaimed BBC crime drama Peaky Blinders, led by Cillian Murphy, which ran for 6 seasons. He was also written and directed films like Tom Hardy's daughter Loki, who was also scripted no title for Spencer, The Girl with the Spider Web, Pawn Sacrifice, and A 100-Foot-Year Journey, and East Pirates, among others. So, let's see what the next Star Wars movie is going to look like, because they already fired Patty Jenkins and also to Heat, and yeah. So let's see if this is going to be good news for Star Wars. That's just hope. So, and then lastly, the insane money Disney, Netflix, and others will spend on content this year. So, let's look at the numbers here. Peacock, $3 billion. Paramount Plus, $4 billion. Apple, $4 billion. Amazon, $10 billion. Netflix, $17 billion. Warner Brothers Discovery, 20 billion, and Disney Plus 30 billion. So Disney Plus are the ones that are putting a lot on the table here. So that's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, but that's all the mainstream news that I have for you guys today. But let's get into our movie review today, and that's on John Wick Chapter 4. And then this is once again directed by Chad Zesty, and once again it stars Keanu Reeves as John Wick, along with Danny Yim, Bill Skarsgård, Lauren Fishburne, Lance Reddick, and in one of his final roles, and also Scott Adkins and Ian McShane. So in the movie, John Wick is set out to get revenge and on the high table and those who left him for that. So, oh my goodness. So let me just say this: if you are a fan of martial arts movies, go see this movie. If you are a fan of action movies, go see this movie. If you are a filmmaker and you love cinematography and you are a cinematographer, go see this movie, because the cinematography in this thing was awesome. The action sequence was really great. And let me tell you something. They put Gun Fu up to the next level. Like, it was ridiculous fun. Like, in the first 25 minutes of the movie, you already know it's already a plus or a 5-star for me. That's how good it was. And man, the one criticize I will say, but it's not really a bad criticize. It's really a good thing, because in the last 3 John Wick movie, everything looked kind of realistic. In this one, you'll be like, oh my god, how is he not dead? Are they really going for a superhero and Fast and the Furious stuff here? Like, oh my god, like, you're gonna get that at times in this movie. But yeah, Keanu Reeves is definitely on that list for one of the greatest action heroes. So and of course, if you haven't not seen him in Speed, Point Blank, Constantine, and the Matrix series, so go check him out there. And but really, the MVP in this movie for me was Donnie Yen. So he played a blind man in this movie. But let me just say this: this ain't the first time that he played a blind man. If you guys remember Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, yeah. So he has kind of experience playing a blind character. So but yeah. But Lance Reddick, oh my god. So man. It was kind of hard to see him die at 60 years old, at very young. But in this movie, they did a pretty good send off to him. So but yeah. But also in one of the scenes, when all the assassins begin to chase John Wick. This is not really I don't want to spoil too much of it, but in the scenes when they begin in one of the scenes when they begin to chase John Wick, and they started to put out the bounty, to change the bounty numbers on him. They did a special tribute to the Warriors movie, if y'all remember the Warriors that came out in 1979, and then they put out the 2005 video game, if y'all remember that, from Rockstars. So yeah, in one of the chase scenes, they did it not only a tribute but also a element to to the Warriors movie. If y'all remember, in the movie, like you have the a beautiful lady voice on the radio, and she would say, "Hey bumpers," and then they would put on, and then she put on the music to help fill out to pull out the vibe in that chase. So yeah, that was a pretty good tribute and an element to to the Warriors, and I like that, and they kind of put the Warriors element into a John Wick movie, so that was really good of how they did it, but yeah, so but and I know a lot of people are gonna be saying what happened at the ending. I'm like, what? Is this how they're gonna end it that way, man? That's how people gonna feel about that. And then there is there is a post credit scene in this. So yeah, there's definitely I don't know. Is it gonna be worth it for you guys to stay after the movie? But I would say you definitely should. If you like one of those people that are willing to stay after the credits. But yeah, there is a post credit scene after this. So yeah, I would recommend so staying afterwards before it. But yep, you already know. It's an A+ for me, 5 out of 5 stars. So like I said, John Wick Chapter 4 and Creed 3 are in my top 10 best movies of 2023 so far. So yeah. So like I said, if you're a fan of martial arts movies, go see this movie. If you're a fan of cinematography, go see this movie. And also, if you're a fan of action movies, go see this movie as well. So yeah, but that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know. Oh yeah, there's one thing I forgot to mention. Scott Adkins. Oh my goodness. He plays a fat character in this movie, and I was like, did they hire the makeup crew from from Matt Reeves' Batman? I was like, oh my god! I was like, how can you move in that fat suit? I'm like, oh my goodness! Like that was crazy. That was one thing I wanted to mention there. I forgot to mention. I wanted to mention, but yeah. Um, but yeah, other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. So if you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment down below what are your thoughts and opinions that I discussed today. And don't forget to share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when new videos are uploaded. And of course, if you're listening to on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming podcast platform, don't forget to follow me there as well. But other than that, this is Trico, and I'm signing off, y'all. Peace.